I just want to start. I often say that, what's so inspiring about being and living in a city, governor, like you just said, like Lexington, is part of it is just knowing our history and understanding that 238 years ago, this very month, Lexington was settled in 1775. And it was named that very month by the settlers who landed here. It was named after a little town right outside Bingham's hometown, Lexington, Massachusetts, where the Battle of Lexington and Concord had just been fought 6 weeks before, and where the Patriots had prevailed. So there's a long history here that goes back 238 years, so welcoming Bingham from the old country of New England to the new land, to your new Kentucky home, is a big honor for all of us. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Tracy. And crowding the winner's circle that's represented here today. I've been, Governor, I've been sort of like you. I've been at a lot of groundbreakings, at a lot of ribbon cuttings in my career. And a lot of times those projects are a function of expanded production. A lot of times. And of course, there's a lot of imagination and creativity and energy and talent and dedication, persistence that goes into every new project. But one like this is really special. And what Tracy was just saying is something I think we all should recognize, and I know Jay's going to go into it. But this project represents so much more than just expanded production. It represents a new business model in many, many respects. It represents the best of re-engineering an enterprise, an institution, in this case, a law firm, a worldwide law firm. And they're depositing that energy and that talent and that imagination and creativity right here in our city. And that is a big deal. It's a big deal because out of 300 cities, Lexington maneuvered through the race and the competition, and we landed in the top 10, and then the top 3, and then we ran across the finish line. And it's always inspiring for me to share that the day, I think, Jana and Kimberly, the day after the announcement, having dinner, and you guys asked Tracy, so what was it about Lexington that made the difference? And Tracy didn't miss a beat. She said real quickly, she said, I can put it in one word, optimism. And then she did stop, and then she said, now behind that optimism is a lot of other stuff, a lot of strengths that you all brought to the table. And right at the top of that list, she mentioned Dr. Capilouto. She mentioned the University of Kentucky. She mentioned the great, outstanding educational assets that we have here in Lexington. And she mentioned the people, the spirit, and the talent, the highly educated workforce that's represented here. So there's a recognition of all of that. And so as I come around the bend on this 3 minutes that I've been given, it just, I can't help but say that if you go to the website, it's still an inspiration to me. If you go to Bingham's website, you'll see an interview with Jay Zimmerman. And in that interview, Jay talks about the values and the culture and the spirit of the company, of the firm. And in it, he talks about sort of an overarching value, and that is the commitment to a passionate curiosity, which is so represented by this project, where imagination and creativity are right at the front of it, the tip of the spear. And it reminds me so of a story I love telling that I'm going to share with you that goes back to 1971 and the opening of Disney World in Florida, 3 years after Walt Disney himself had passed away. And at that event, Lillian, his wife, his widow then, and his brother Roy were there. After the event was over, Roy leaned over to Lillian and said, "Lillian, you know, this is a wonderful day. I'm just so sorry that Walt isn't here to share it." Well, Lillian didn't miss a beat, just like Tracy didn't, and she said, "But he is here because he did see it. If he didn't see it, we wouldn't be here today." And that so much represents what this project illustrates. It was a dream, and behind that dream, a lot of hard work. And fortunately, we here in Lexington, and so many of you, are able to be a part of fulfilling that dream.